Hey, and welcome to another episode of Real Conversation. I'm your host, Nicole Jones.
And I'm Shaquana Terry.
I would like to thank you for joining us here tonight. We have a great show lined up for you tonight, but like always, let's start it off by saying how amazing my co host look. Y'all see her here? First of all, I
Yeah.
always love this color on her, okay? But did she come in with the bob?
I got my Bobbiana going
Like,
on.
what's going on, girl? I love your hair like that.
Oh, thank you
Oh
so much.
man.
You know what? I figure I already cut my hair and I cut it for a reason. If I'm going to get some braids or whatever, I'm going to get it short because the reason why I cut my hair is because I didn't want all of that stuff on my neck. So this is something that'll give me the best of both worlds, a little length as well as, some braids. So yeah, I'm good to go. But I love your hair as well. It
Thank
looks so
you.
good. What's that? You when you were turning, you look like it's shorter on one side and long on the
Oh
other side.
yes.
Oh, okay, ma'am. I see
Yes.
you. I see
Now,
you.
I promise you guys, we did not plan getting bobs
I
together,
know. That's so
okay?
crazy.
She didn't know my hairstyle. I didn't know her hairstyle. I knew she was getting braids. Did not know her hairstyle. Okay. So it's the dopest that we both listen, great minds think alike. How about
We
that?
here. We here. We
Yes.
here. We here. We
It's
here.
crazy.
Nah, but it looks amazing. It looks so neat. She does a really great job on your hair. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
She
And
does.
was that like an inspiration? Did she do that or you asked for it?
No, I showed her a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And they have bobs that's like straight across. I told her I wanted a little longer here. It's like a little
Mm-hmm.
bang.
Yeah.
And yeah. Yeah, she was making them
Nice.
all like this length a little bit. She made it a little longer, but I asked
Okay.
for a little longer or whatever. And yeah. I told her exactly what to do and she did. She ate. She did exactly what
Yeah.
I asked.
I mean, if
Yeah,
it looks like the picture, then definitely.
it definitely does. And I listen, it looks so good. She put me right on her site.
Hey, hey. I love
Listen.
it. I love it. Well, like it looks amazing, and
Thank you. Yours
she
does too.
ready. Okay, she is ready. You're
We both
looking
are.
good. Yes,
Listen,
absolutely. Yeah.
y'all got
Well,
listen. What the kids say? She ate. Did I say it right?
she ate down. She ate down. She did. It's really good.
Period.
Definitely eat. That's my kids. They everything is. Shut up.
Yes, I went to go
They
pick
a
up
mess.
mines right from her friend's house.
Uh
She went to go stay at her friend's house. She was off for like 2 days. Went to
huh.
go pick up. The girls was like, "Okay, okay, mom." I was like,
Yes. Yes, yes. I love it when the young ones, give you the. That's how you know it's eating. It's eating
"That's
for
the tea
sure.
right
So,
there." Yep.
yep. Well, like Nicole said, we have a wonderful show lined up for you. And it's really talking about copycat energy, and we'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. But I did want to talk about something that has been all over the threads, all over social media, and we talked about it on last Thursday's show. But it seems like everybody is still talking about this. So, and I didn't want to bring it up, but yeah, we'll let you decide whether or not this was a good look for her. So, on night three of the Jay Z Extra Innings concert, he brought out Tiana Taylor to sing Can Knock the Hustle. Okay. And people were criticizing, saying that, of course, they were comparing her to Beyonce or even to Mary J. Blige.
Hmm.
But she has a different voice. She brought a different sound to it. But what happened is I believe her mic wasn't working. So I have a clip of it, and you guys can let me know. But her mic wasn't working because you can hear Jay's mic so clear, and then
Okay.
when Tiana came in, it was like completely low. Like
Distorted.
she was like screaming in the mic, and it's like, do y'all not hear that the sound is out? So there's a whole bunch of stuff saying, oh, she was sabotaged or whatever else, but you never know. But I want to just go to that clip really quickly. Nicole, have you seen it?
I seen that she sang. I didn't know she sang that song, so I didn't actually hear her singing. So I'm looking forward to hearing this clip.
Oh, okay.
We
So
all
I just
know that
have a little
Tiana Taylor
short.
can sing, so I just want to see that.
Yeah, I just have a short 30-second clip. Don't get
That's
too hyped.
okay.
All right.
We're just waiting for it to come up. That's the Jeopardy song.
It actually is up. So I don't know what that says, but it's up.
Oh, not on my end. Is it playing?
Yes, it is playing, Nicole. I don't know what happened, but this happened to me too one time when you was playing the clip and I didn't see it, but it was actually playing. Um,
Okay, I'm sorry.
no, 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 you're good. It definitely played, and just so you kind of get what was going on in the video, she was, Jay Z was singing a verse of "Can't Knock the Hustle," and then Tiana Taylor came in with her part of the song, and she was so low, couldn't hear her. And I don't know if her in ears were out as well, so it must have been a sound thing, because she wasn't even on toward the end. Like, Jay-Z was guiding her on the song because she was going slower than the music. So, and that happens,
Okay.
me being a singer, I know that when I can't hear the music, that's the problem.
It's a
So,
technical issue.
yeah,
Yeah,
so either her in ears was her in excuse me, her in ears were
I know
out,
what you mean. Yeah.
and her mic wasn't on, because baby girl, you couldn't even hear her. And then in this video, somebody says, I can't hear her, I can't hear her. So it was like, oh man. But she went on social media, and she kind of put something up there, and she showed a clip of her actually singing it. Now, we all know
Mhm.
Tiana Taylor can sing. We know that she can
Mhm.
sing, right? So, but the people, them, you know what they're gonna do, right? They always going to troll or
Listen,
whatever. Because the way that Beyonce did it on night one, um, yeah, she ate that. But Beyonce and Tiana Taylor and Mary J. Blige,
absolutely,
they're all wonderful singers in their own right. And I don't think there should be a comparison. But, people can't
definitely
help
not.
but to do so.
Definitely not. And I mean, if it's a technical issue, there's nothing that she can do about that. To be honest, that should have been taken care of before she even got on stage. That should have They should have been able to have some form of rehearsal or something to make sure, like sound check, just to make sure that everything is up and running properly.
And I think it was, but that was the concert, that was the show that started very late. I believe it started at midnight because there were
Mm,
delays at Yankee Stadium. So I don't know if Tiana Taylor was originally going to sing that.
mm,
I don't know if he got her in late. I do not know. However, I felt like, from what I did hear, like the little bit that I did hear, I think she probably killed it, and but she was that baby was working hard on that mic, and you couldn't hear
mm.
nothing. Okay, so it's just like,
Okay.
it's it was a historic show, and I was just like, why would they do that to her? But whatever, nothing you could do. She can't even get a do over. And maybe she'll get a do over at one of the other shows that he's doing. So we'll see.
It's
But
okay. Listen, we know Tiana Taylor can sing.
yes,
Um, Jay performed great, 3 nights of great shows from what I heard, because I ain't in
yes.
New York, so I ain't see it
Mhm.
myself.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and I did hear about that third night. The reason why there was delays was because they were trying to prevent stampedes,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
if you think about it, it's kind of smart because wasn't like a Travis Scott concert. A kid, someone got trampede and they died, and they tried to sue him. So I'd rather him delay it and get everybody in safe, you know, and then go from there. But I mean
Yeah.
that was they had to make an executive decision, especially being that if you remember the first night they was complaining, people were complaining about people pushing, skipping the lines and all that other stuff. And they was like, what was going on with Jay Z's security team because they need to do a better job. So now they
Oh
doing a better
wow.
job,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
caused delays, but they had to do what they had to do to prevent any issues.
Yeah, and I think too, um, on this with that Travis Scott incident, there was like an it was overcrowding. And I don't know who was counting. I don't know what happened, but there was like overcrowding underneath the stage, and there were like people were getting crushed at that concert. And yeah, that was insane. But this is different, because that wasn't like a I don't think that was a stadium. I forget what that was. It was like an open field or something in Texas, but it I get that. If that was the reason why the show was delayed, I thought it was another reason. But if that was the reason why the show was delayed, then I'm glad he did that because, it allowed people to kind of, hey, listen, take their time to getting to the show, sitting down,
Hmm.
getting their seats. But I don't know if that was the reason because he ended up saying they had to pay like fines, delay fines to Yankee Stadium.
He probably
And
did, but he made the
yeah,
announcement saying that was the reason. That's what he apologized to everybody in there,
uh-huh.
and he said it was because they had to make sure everyone can get in safely. He actually
Okay.
mentioned that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't see the last show, but like, I mean, that is just, but I heard it still went off without a hitch. A lot of people still waited. All I see is like on the threads, people saying that they got home at in the morning, took a shower, and then went straight to work. Like it's
Oh,
crazy. Yeah, like people like, but it was the best time spent. Like
listen.
people like history was made. I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's so cool. I don't
Remind
know if
me of
I
my
would have
clubbing
been.
days.
Huh?
I said, remind me of my clubbing days, going to
Yeah,
Bentley, coming home, going to Vertigo, coming home, getting ready for work, and heading back to work. Like those are the good old days.
yeah,
Good job. Good
girl.
times. Good times.
My body, I don't think they can handle it now, but hey, you never know.
Mm-mm. Oh, I
You
know I can
never
handle it
know.
now.
Huh?
I I know I can handle it now. I feel like I was drunk at work, okay, and I got to drive, so I
Oh
can't feel
my
like that.
God. Oh, it's true though. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Oh, well, anyway, with that one, Tiana Taylor, you still did an amazing job. And all of the comparisons between her, Mary J. Blige, and Beyonce, they were also, Beyonce got her fill too because they were saying, oh, um, Jay Z should have had Mary J. Blige come out for the show. And she's in Las Vegas doing her thing, right?
No, that's what I was about to
So,
say.
so
Because
it's like,
normally, maybe like what you just said, maybe she wasn't available. That's why she wasn't there. Because I'm sure if she was in New York, she would be singing the song, not
yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah, and I think Beyonce sang it in 2006 though. I was there for that concert.
Okay.
She sang it in 2006. So, um yeah, I mean, I feel like, they used who they had. They even had Tiana Taylor do it. So, I feel like these are
Hmm.
all superstars in their own right and they all have incredible talents and I don't think people should be comparing, but that's the way of the world now. But so that's a perfect segue into comparisons and people trying to be who they aren't, something they aren't, and not being comfortable in their own skin that they actually want to be someone else. So we're going to talk about that coming up.
Okay, welcome back. Today we're basically talking about something we've all experienced, or maybe even accused of. Someone accusing us of doing this, and that's part of this copycat culture. Someone copying someone is basically a form of admiration, inspiration, or does it basically like cross the line? Consider of if someone's copying you, is it considered to be identity, or someone stealing someone's identity, or work, or whatever the case may be. um or originality, because being that you're the person that comes up with this concept and then someone goes and tries to take it and call it their own. In today's world, where trends spread in seconds, it's getting harder to tell the difference. So I don't know why I'm stuttering right now. Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, how about we just talk about this, okay? Let's have a real conversation about this topic here. But boom.
Now, but you were on point. You said a few things. You touched on a few points. I think with this copycat culture that we have right now, I mean, there's so many ways to skin a cat. The issue is not really um that person copying, more so, it's when that person or those people try to be you, right? And
Mhm.
take all of your ideas and then take it like it was theirs, like they came up with it, you know. And then the other part of that is when they take the ideas, don't give the person credit for for the idea that they've now stolen, and they
Yeah.
want to go run with it and act like they were the originator of it, and it's like, okay, that's too
It's a
much.
form of
And
imitation.
yeah,
They
and they
imitating
always
another
say
person. Yeah.
imitation is the highest form of flattery. Yeah, it is, when you are just taking somebody's stuff and you're using it as inspiration and then also giving them credit. But when you're
Mhm.
taking it and acting like try to pass it off as your own endeavor, that's not cool. Um, what I want to do is really talk about that because, you know, like you and I, Nicole, we're different. And you do what you do, and I do what I do. I can't do what
Mhm.
you do, and you can't do what I do. Now we may
Right.
try,
Yeah.
we may try to walk in each other's shoes or walk on each other's paths, but that path is going to be like square peg, round hole. It's
Yes.
not going to be our best. We probably can be successful, but will we thrive in that environment? Probably not, because it's not what was destined for us. I feel like
Right.
we all have a calling, and I think the problem with many people is that they don't want the calling that God has for them. They want to take other people's gifts and talents and their, dare I say, anointing, and try to pass it off as their own. And it's like, yo, admiring someone's gift is super healthy. That is healthy. But when you try to replace that person, that's not healthy. That is not healthy. So, we're talking about that, and you know, coveting our neighbor's stuff or covering people's stuff. It's like you never know what people have done to get to the place that they're at, right? What they've gone through, in most cases, who they had to kill, who they had to steal from. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that person's path. So before you try to walk in their shoes, you should cultivate your own path first and give your all to your path so that you can flourish in your own calling.
And if you don't know your path, find your path. It's not
Yeah.
about like you can see what someone else is doing and take that as inspiration,
Hmm.
and then create your own path.
Yeah.
And do what it is that needs to be done. Build your own blocks. You don't have
Yeah.
to sit there and emulate what someone else is doing. You're just like a copy and paste. I'm a cut your stuff out and bring it over here, and I'm gonna put it where it is I need it to go, and then I'm gonna say, "This is mine." Did I? No, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And you think about it, like when you spend so much time chasing someone else's identity, you're not cultivating your own. You're not cultivating your own path and the purpose that God entrusted you with. It always baffles me when I see people copy others, and I'm like, I never ever wanted to be like someone. Like, I
Mhm.
may admire them and say, you know what, you're a strong individual, and I admire that about you. But I'm not gonna want to say like, okay, God, give me what they have. God, give me what I wish I would. I would never say that, mainly because again, I don't know what that person has gone through. So that person is strong, but what problems, what tests or trials did they go through to even become that strong? I don't want those type of problems. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So for me, it's always weird when someone says that. Oh, when they um say certain things like that. It's like, whoa, I almost lost my train of thought. But it's just, I don't know, Nicole. It's just weird. I cannot call it. I can't call it. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I mean, we see it across the board. We see it when it comes to people trying to find content for their social media. When people sit there and they see what other content creators are doing, and they try to imitate that, because they see that content creator has such a large following, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just because they have a large following, whatever it is that they did to get that large following doesn't mean that you're going to be able to create the same dynamic for you know, your page.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of people don't understand that. They see what other people are doing, and it's okay. Like, okay, I see what you're doing there. I like what you're doing there. But let's just, let me I think I can like put a little tang in there, let's go in this direction. Okay, if they're sitting up there talking about music, let's come over here and talk about comedy. Whatever it is, it can be the same daggone thing, just a different avenue in the
Mm-hmm.
same genre. Okay? You do not need to sit here and that's like, listen, I've been saying this forever, okay? Quana got some fly gear, okay? I always tell her I'm copying her ish. Do I ever copy? I don't never go out there and get it, right? I'll be like, oh girl, I'm copying
That's
that
true.
right there. I like
That's
that.
true.
That's fire right there. I like that. But I
That's
don't
true.
never go and get it. It's not about me going and trying to copy her style. Listen, anyone who's ever seen her out in the open, y'all see how she dressed. Y'all see how just everything about her hair, her jewelry, her bags, anything. It's dope, right? Her shoe game is on fire.
No, you
But
crazy.
am I actually gonna go, oh, and I might even say, yo, where you get that from? You
Yeah.
ever go and get it? I don't never go and get her stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
It's just.
I never ever wanted to copy anybody in regards to what it is that they look like or whatever. I might admire it. I might be inspired by doing something, like when you cut your hair, you see, I'm like, oh, that gonna look fire on me. But you make it your own by doing it a different way. Like,
Yeah.
figure it out. Like, you gotta know who you are. And by copying somebody, by trying to step in someone else's shoes, that ain't you, boo.
Mm-hmm.
Just
And
saying.
we're in the age of social media. There's so much information out there, and chances are everyone's going to start to report on the same things.
Yes.
But the thing about reporting on the same things is that when you talk about it, you're going to be talking about it from your point of view, from your perspective, not someone else's perspective, right? But there's so many people that like study a person, study their mannerisms, study the way that they talk, and they want to be exactly like that person. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, be an original. How about you just be yourself? And that's why my moniker, right? Be yourself, everyone else is taken. And I got that from another person. And when I heard it, I was like, yo, I said, that is so true. Because first of all, again, nobody can do it like me. Nobody can do it
Mm-hmm.
like you, Nicole, because
Mm-hmm.
you are created for a special purpose,
Yeah.
whatever that is. But you got to find that, and you don't try to be like somebody else. And then, a lot of people, oh my gosh, I think it's getting out of control, I believe. a lot of people are delving into certain practices that are, I don't know how to say it without being I gotta say this right. They're delving into certain practices where they're being very intrusive in other people's business. They are just finding out certain things about people and then wanting to stop them or take what it was supposed to be ordained for them. But guess what God has for you cannot be taken. It may be delayed a little bit, but it cannot be taken. And you have to, that's why it's important to know yourself and cultivate yourself and cultivate the ideas that you have and put them out there in the way that you are called to put them out there. Do not copy anyone and try to be like that person, because pretty soon those things are going to come to light and people are going to see, like, okay, this person is not an original. This person cannot hold a conversation that is indicative of the person that they say that they are. You know how that goes,
Mhm.
Nicole, right?
Mhm.
When you going out and you see certain things and you're like, you see a person online and you're a person that you've seen online that has been talking just some, they talking cash money, shit. You like, yo, I like that person. They rocking, whatever. Then you
Mhm.
see them and the conversation is different.
Yes.
The verbiage is different, and you're like, who is that person that I see? Who is that persona that I see online? Because
Mhm.
where did they get that from? Because that's not them, you know?
Right.
And then it's just weird. It's a weird dynamic, but it's okay, like Nicole said, to take inspiration, but to try to steal someone else's whole persona, steal someone else's whole life is insane to me. Insane.
I'm gonna use something because you mentioned something in regards to when you're copying somebody, right? So people who want to be reporters, they tend to have their favorite reporter, right? They tend to emulate that reporter so they can like get the techniques down pat because
Yeah.
they too want to be a reporter, right?
Hmm.
So that's just like a singer. Like you want to be a singer, so you tend to copy your favorite singer. That you're singing their song, so you're singing it the way they sing the song. But
Hmm.
then when it's time for you to sing the song for yourself, it's their words, but in your own way. As a reporter, you tend to report the news the same way you see Mary Jane Paul report the news, right?
Not
On
Mary
being
Jane
Mary
Paul.
Jane. But instead of sounding like that robot of Mary Jane Paul, you found your own lane and you reporting the same thing, but in a different way. That's how it becomes your own, right? So there's so many different areas, so many different departments where you can end up copying someone, but it's not about just you sitting up there trying to be that person. You're trying to be the best version of yourself and project it to somebody else. So you're sitting up there showing them who you are in that area, in that field, and how you made it your own.
Yeah.
Let's start doing that and just making sure that um you do your homework ahead of schedule. That way
Hmm.
you can, perform better.
Yeah, show up
And
to class.
yeah, that's all. It's all about the performance and you putting your best foot forward. That's it.
Absolutely. And like I said, we all have gifts and talents that God has provided, that He has placed inside of us. It's you finding out what those are. What's your niche? What you are good at, and taking that and honing in on it. Because when you do that, it's like, it's, while it may be similar to someone else's, it's not yours.
Yeah.
So, and you will bring just like that special sauce to it, because it was made for you, because it was destined for you. So your
Mhm.
sauce is gonna be, it's like, in what's that movie, Juice? And they're like, you got the juice now, man. Like that it's gonna be like that. People gonna like, yes, like And there's always going to be someone that's going to look for you, always going to be someone that's going to want to hear what you have to say, especially when you're being authentic. People can tell when people are being authentic, true to themselves. They can tell. So
Yeah.
it's important for you to know that. It's important for you to follow your own path, stay in your lane, steward your own gift, and trust the timing of the divine, trust the timing of God, because his timing is always perfect. And you never know, he may be stewing you just for a time such as this. And then when you're ready to pop out, when you have found out who you are, when you have cultivated your gifts and your talents, and then you are authentic, oh my gosh, you're gonna be unstoppable. Until then, chill out, stop copying people work, stop taking their stuff, stop looking for topics and then to making them like they're your own. Like, stop doing that. Stealing people's ideas, that's weird behavior. And then some people go as far as to report the pages of the people that they're stealing from, so
Ah,
that they do not get the algorithm doesn't push their stuff to the masses. It's just weird. Like, people are weird. Like, God didn't call us to be in competition with anybody, because he gave us unique gifts and talents that
but
are
I'm gonna say
unique,
this.
that are for us.
I'm gonna say this because you know there's so just like we have a podcast. There's so many podcasts out there. There's so
Right.
many you know there's so many outlets that are trying to do the same thing, right?
Hmm.
And some people have to report on the same thing. So it's
Hmm.
not about you reporting on the same thing. It's about you doing your homework, figuring out what it is, how you're going to address it to everybody else, how you're going to get it out there, and make sure that your page is the one that the person wants to watch because yours is more authentic. You know what I mean? Yours is the one that catches the eye of the audience. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is. Because like there's so many radio stations, but which is your favorite radio station? You
Yeah.
know, which is the one that catches that brings the best mix that you want to listen to. And then when
Yeah.
they're up there talking, it's just they catch your ear. That's basically what it is. It's not because I understand that sometimes it's just like being going to school online. Like those papers, I want to just go online. That's why I'm mentioning this, okay? But those like there's just so many papers that are the same topic because they just keep pushing it out there, and you have to put it through a plagiarism checker to make sure that you're not, they got to make sure that you're not copying someone else's work. But
Hmm.
how do you sit there and y'all send this? Let's say 200 students got the same daggone paper. Listen, I had to email my professor because I was like, listen, I don't got any more words, okay? I don't put this thing through the plagiarism checker. And listen, and he started laughing. He was like, it is not your fault. There's a lot of, people doing the same paper, and each semester they keep putting out the same paper. So it's okay. Just submit it. I said, listen, these are my words, and I got no more. I done
Hmm.
changed it like 5 times.
Hmm.
And when you got papers that, you know, they have to be what? I'm gonna just say it's over 1,000 words. I can't remember. It's a long time ago, but it's just
Hmm.
like you sit up here and you want to make sure yours is original. You typing up your stuff. You typing it up, doing what you got to do. Mind you, I got kids. I got work. I ain't got no time to be sitting up there and keep going through some stuff. Quanta, you helped me with some stuff too. She was helping me with some math, so she know what I'm talking. But it's like when you sit up there and you submit in it, and you were like, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I wrote this myself. Wait, what are you talking about? Sometimes it just is what it is. When there's so many different outlets out there that's reported on the same stuff, it's just about you making it your own to make sure that you're not copying someone else's work. Try your best to do what it is. Because if I'm sitting up here reporting about the accident that took place on Northern Boulevard and 102nd Street, and Shaquana is doing the same, mind you, we're doing it separately, but we both talking about the same stuff. you know, you're gonna check me out or you're gonna check her out. Whoever gives the most spice in that report, that's the one you're gonna be looking at. Let's just get to that, okay? It's not about me sitting up there trying to. Oh, Quana got a S on her chest. I'm gonna put an N on my chest
Child,
just
they
to
do
emulate
it.
what.
They do it.
And mind you, I got it in an N chain. I got it, but I'm not wearing it. She got hers on. Guess what? I'm just in here with a tank top on.
And you know what? And that will be perfectly okay, right?
Yeah,
Because there are instances where we go and we purchase the same things.
yeah,
But it's not like we're like, oh, shoot, you got that? Oh, I have it too. There are instances where we're going to wear the same thing at time. Like there are couple times we wore the same color. We've had those instances, and they're not, of course, by design. They're
yeah.
they're just coincidences. I think what the real problem is that when people do it
Yes.
intentionally, excuse me, and they strive to say, okay, oh, she got a haircut, let me cut my
Let me
hair.
go get it
She
too.
got, oh, she have this, oh, let me go. Oh, she went, oh, that was her man, let me go get him.
Oh, she got hazel contacts. Oh,
She
let me go
got
get some. Oh, those look good on you, but
like
they don't look good on you. You can't do everything everybody else do.
it's weird. It's weird behavior. It's weird behavior.
It is.
But either way, we just want you to be authentic. We want you to be authentic. We want you to stay in the lane that God has for you, mainly because it's only for you. So that means that no one can do it like you. Stay in your lane, trust God's timing, and then go from there. Because listen, embrace the success that God has called you to. Your success
Absolutely.
may not look like you being on a podcast. It may not
Mhm.
look like you speaking. It may look like something else in another area. And you have to be obedient to that so that you can flourish wherever you are.
Mhm.
So, and that's all I have for that. Nicole, you got anything else?
No, ma'am. I think we touched base on this entire topic. So, we're going to close this on out. We appreciate you guys for joining us. Corner, here
Hmm.
we go, because I done step over and cut.
Oh, we good. We good. Just always remember, y'all, be yourself. Everyone else is taken, and they're taken for a reason. You have your own path, you have your own life to live. And so live it, enjoy it, and have fun finding out who you are and what your calling is. And trust me, you will never go wrong. So thank you so much for watching Real Conversation. My name is Shaquana Terry.
And I'm Nicole Jones.
And you can find us every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube at real underscore combos underscore podcast and on Facebook as well.
At Real Conversations 2021.
So we thank you so much for watching and God bless.